Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. In this video, we're going to talk about AlmaLinux OS. It's a fantastic distribution, and it's one that I plan on covering more often on this channel. It's a strong choice for servers, mission-critical workloads, and just about any situation where stability and reliability are important. It's backed by a thriving community, and AlmaLinux has earned a reputation as one of the best enterprise Linux distros available today. However, many people view AlmaLinux as a server-only distribution. It even goes as far as people on Reddit recommending against using it as a workstation platform. But is that true? Is it actually the case that you shouldn't use AlmaLinux OS on a laptop or a desktop? Well, in this video, we're going to explore exactly that. So what we'll do today is take a closer look at AlmaLinux as a desktop operating system. We'll explore its strengths, discuss its limitations, and we'll determine whether or not it's a practical choice for workstation use. And we'll start our journey by taking a closer look at what AlmaLinux OS actually is, its target audience, and the goal that it tries to solve. That way, we'll set the foundation for the rest of the video. And then from there, we're going to explore the overall desktop experience. I've installed AlmaLinux OS on several workstations at this point, and I'm ready to give you guys my findings. And better yet, we're going to answer once and for all whether or not it's true that it's a server-only distribution. So join me as we explore AlmaLinux OS as a workstation. And there's a lot to unpack in this video, but first let's take a moment to understand what AlmaLinux OS actually is, where it came from, as well as who it's designed for. And since there's literally hundreds of Linux distros available nowadays, it's also worth taking a look at what makes AlmaLinux OS different. After that, I'll give you guys my findings when it comes to the desktop experience. Anyway, AlmaLinux OS was created in response to Red Hat's 2020 announcement that traditional CentOS Linux was being discontinued in favor of CentOS Stream. While CentOS Stream is a perfectly capable distribution, it serves a different purpose than the original CentOS that many people are accustomed to. And as a result, many users and businesses began looking for alternatives. And that's where projects like AlmaLinux OS and Rocky Linux come in. Their goal was to provide a community-driven enterprise Linux distro that could serve as a practical replacement for CentOS. Both projects have been successful and remain popular choices for enterprise Linux users today. One of the key aspects of AlmaLinux is its governance model. The project is overseen by the AlmaLinux OS Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that helps ensure the distribution remains community-driven rather than being controlled by a single vendor. For organizations that value long-term stability, that is an important consideration. The first stable release of AlmaLinux arrived back in 2021, and the project has continued to evolve ever since. As of the time I'm recording this video, AlmaLinux OS 10 is the latest version. Another thing that helps AlmaLinux stand out is its community. It's very welcoming, and it's easy to get involved with, contribute to, and to connect with other users. The project also includes several special interest groups, or SIGs, which focus on specific use cases that help extend AlmaLinux beyond its default installation. I'll give you some examples of that later, but first, let's see what AlmaLinux OS is like as a desktop operating system. My first test was fairly traditional. I downloaded the minimal installation image, installed the base system, and then later added the GNOME desktop environment afterward. The process was straightforward, and I was up and running very quickly. At the same time, I had a workstation that was running Fedora 43 that was due for an upgrade to Fedora 44. That particular machine is used primarily for development and system administration, and upgrading it every 6 months has never really been a problem. But it did get me thinking, does a development workstation really need that many major upgrades? And also, considering that I was simultaneously testing AlmaLinux OS as a desktop distro, I decided to try it out on that machine. And I figured that would be a better experiment overall rather than simply installing it in a lab environment. And for that installation, I decided to go a different direction. I downloaded the GNOME Live image for AlmaLinux, and it's very similar to Fedora Workstation. It boots into a live environment that you could use to test compatibility. It includes a desktop installer that you could use to get it installed if everything passes your tests. And once you do install it, you'll have a complete workstation experience right out of the box without needing to manually add a desktop environment afterward. And already there's a benefit of AlmaLinux that I need to let you guys know about. One of its biggest advantages is its support lifecycle. For example, AlmaLinux 10 is supported through May of 2030, whereas Fedora releases typically receive support for around 13 months or so. And that means I'll have significantly fewer upgrades over the life of the system. And for a workstation that mainly exists to run development tools and administrative utilities, that's a very appealing benefit. I hope you're enjoying the video so far, but I wanted to take a moment and mention something that can help you take your skills to the next level. If you're looking to go deeper, I have a couple of full courses available, Getting Started with Ansible, and also my LPI Linux Essentials Complete Course and Workshop. Both are designed to be very hands-on and practical, so you're not just learning concepts, you're actually building real skills that you could use right away. But if you're more into quick references or guides, I also have ebooks and downloadable PDFs available in the merch shop, including my new troubleshooting guide for system administrators. It's jam-packed with practical techniques that you could use to diagnose and fix real-world issues. Also, I've been hard at work on something brand new, a full book titled Switching to Linux, a practical guide for Windows and Mac users. For this book, I decided to cut the publisher out of the equation completely, and it's going to be self-published. And it's coming very soon. I'm going to release it as a shadow drop, so if you want to be notified as soon as it does release, you could head over to the URL that you see on the screen right now and sign up for the announcement list. I can't wait for you to read it. But no matter how you decide to support Learn Linux TV, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the video. Anyway, after spending some time with AlmaLinux on a daily basis as a desktop platform, one thing became clear. The idea that AlmaLinux shouldn't be used on desktops or laptops simply doesn't hold up. The GNOME edition works remarkably well, and in my experience, everything functioned exactly as expected. That said, even though my experience has been fantastic, that doesn't mean that there's no trade-offs. Due to the fact that AlmaLinux prioritizes stability, many packages are older than what you'll find in distributions such as Fedora. If having the latest GNOME release and the newest software is important to you, Fedora might actually be a better fit. If you'd rather have a longer support lifecycle and fewer major upgrades, then AlmaLinux becomes a very compelling option. And for me, the answer depends on the machine. My primary workstation benefits from newer software because I cover Linux professionally on this channel and I need to stay current with the latest software developments. But for a development system that's mainly used to write code, manage infrastructure, and run administrative tools, the latest desktop environment isn't really as important. But as I continued testing, I discovered some unexpected advantages. And one example is NVIDIA support. Installing the proprietary driver on AlmaLinux is surprisingly straightforward and can be done with a single command. When it comes to Fedora, they barely support NVIDIA users at all, forcing users to install a third-party repository and jump through completely unnecessary hoops to get up and running. AlmaLinux provides a very streamlined experience for getting the driver installed and ready for use. And don't get me wrong, I do understand that proprietary NVIDIA drivers are not a good thing, but unfortunately, it's required to get the best experience from your GPU. It is what it is. And the thing is, AlmaLinux supports this much better than Fedora does. But the biggest surprise came when I started setting up my Thelio Mira for video production, which is now the third machine that I've installed AlmaLinux onto. The thing is, DaVinci Resolve is what I use for editing videos on this channel, and it's historically been one of the more frustrating applications to deploy on Linux. Official Linux support is limited, installation requirements can be restrictive, and getting everything working often involves following lengthy guides or using community-written workarounds. What surprised me was discovering that the AlmaLinux community has already invested significant effort into solving this exact problem. They made available a special package that's known as the AlmaLinux Creative Installer, and it's basically dedicated tooling that's available specifically for content creators, and it simplifies the installation of applications such as DaVinci Resolve. In my case, I installed the Creative Installer package and I used it to deploy DaVinci Resolve, and I was up and running in no time. I did encounter a few minor issues, and I'll be reporting those upstream. In fact, I've already been in contact with AlmaLinux, and I let them know that I'll be providing information about my experience, so it's most likely going to be something that's going to be fixed very soon, but then again, I only encountered very minor issues. And once I did get DaVinci Resolve up and running, I was rendering 4K videos in just a fraction of the time that I was accustomed to. And over time, this is going to result in massive time savings in regard to my workflow. And that's not something that I expected when I started evaluating AlmaLinux as a desktop operating system, but it is one of the reasons the distribution left such a strong impression on me. And I do understand that not everybody creates content like I do, but there's special interest groups that cover a wide range of topics, and there's more developments coming from AlmaLinux very soon. Overall, what I've found along the way as I went through this journey is that the myth that AlmaLinux OS isn't a good fit for desktops is just simply not true. In fact, it now has a permanent place on at least 2 different machines, and also some of my servers are going to start using it as well. I'm really impressed by AlmaLinux. Now, to be fair, there are legitimate trade-offs, such as older packages like I mentioned, but at the end of the day, you'll make the best choice for your computer. For example, maybe you prioritize bleeding-edge software, or maybe you prioritize stability. Either way, there's a good fit for you. Fedora is a great fit for those of you that want bleeding-edge software. Ubuntu is as well. But for those of you that want a long-term installation and you don't mind being a few versions of GNOME behind, then AlmaLinux OS actually is a fantastic choice. Not only that, it was fully compatible. I had no issues at all. It's been a great experience. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm interested to read what you guys have to say. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to Learn Linux TV, well, I release new Linux-related content each and every week. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.